Alrighty, everybody ready? It is. Welcome everybody. It is Tuesday, November 10th. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Warren Town Council. Everybody would please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Like we allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice President Hanley is approaching the podium here to share with us a special recognition for retiring town clerk Julie Coelho. Councilman Hanley, the floor is yours. On behalf of the legislators, Representative speaking, so let us know when you are ready for him to speak.
Okay, Julie. I think I'm gonna want to recognize Senator Felag, Representative Knight and Speakman, and I'm gonna save mine for last. I'm gonna ask Senator Felag if he would like to step up.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here representing the State Senate for Julie Coelho. Warren is fortunate that they have a number of outstanding town employees. We have employees in our police department. We have employees in our town highway department that are outstanding. And also we have some outstanding individuals that work here in the town hall. But one of the most dedicated individuals over these past 30 years has been Julie Coelho. Most residents, their first time when they come into the town of Warren, they come into the town hall. They come into the town hall to get some vital records. They come into the town hall to register to vote. They come in to submit their marriage licenses, their baptisms, and all these other aspects that a town clerk function does for the town of Warren, besides keep vital records. And over the years, Julie and her staff have performed that function extremely well. They've been able to make new citizens feel welcome to the town of Warren, and we're grateful for that. I don't know where the 30 years went because I was here probably on the town council when Julie was first hired, and then found her bouncing around from one department to the next department until she found her home in the clerk's office. So without further ado, and to recognize that outstanding achievement and wish her well in retirement, I'd like to present her with a Senate citation. Congratulations.
We have one of the state reps or both on the line.
I'm here.
Hi, June. This is John Hanley. Senator Felag just made his presentation, and I'm opening up the floor to you.
Thank you very much, Vice President Hanley. And I'm just bringing the greetings of the House of Representatives to Julie to congratulate her on her retirement and to thank her for her service to the citizens of Warren and to the whole state. I know she's been very active in the Clerks Association, helping us create an elections process that makes sense for folks. And I want to thank her and her staff for the way it was conducted this time. And again, all best wishes. I don't have anything to hand you, obviously, but that will come later. So congratulations, Julie. It's been a pleasure working with you.
I'm going to take advantage of this because most of you know when you're talking to Julie, you don't get that many words in. And there's not many people I'm around where they consider me the quiet one. So, but actually, back in the early 2000s, Julie's the one that kind of inspired me to kind of get involved on the planning board, because I saw how much she enjoyed it and what she got out of it. And I learned a lot from that. And just the way she serves the town makes me very, very proud as her brother for what she has done over the past 30 years. I have not got her to call me Mr. Hanley yet, though, but we're still working on that. So with that being done, I'm going to read the citation. Town Council. November 10th, 2020. Dear Miss Julie A. Coelho, on behalf of the Town Council and the citizens of Warren, we would like to take this opportunity to thank you for over 30 years of service as an employee of the town of Warren. From 12/10/1990 to 11/16/1992, in the town clerk's office as an office clerk. From 11/17/1992 to 12/31/2002, the deputy town clerk. From 1/1/2003 to 4/28/2007, the tax assessor. From 5/1/2007 to 12/31/2020, the town clerk. In addition to your hard work and dedication, your extensive and valuable knowledge of the town of Warren, you will be sorely missed. Your commitment to the town of Warren is greatly appreciated, and your resignation as an employee of the town of Warren is accepted with sincere regret. Kerry M. Cronin, President, Joseph A. D. Pasquale, Councilman, Steve P. Kalenda, Councilman, P. Brant Eckert, Councilman, and Mr. John W. Hanley, Vice President.
I'm gonna turn this back around. This started off as a temporary part-time job because it was 30 hours a week and I was driving to Providence. And this was while my kids were little, and it's been an adventure. At last, since COVID hit, has been nothing I've ever seen before, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. My office has been fabulous. The council has always been supportive. Town manager's always been supportive. I started looking at how many councils, managers, finance directors, assessors, police chiefs, and fire chiefs I had worked with, and I was like a page into it, and I said, I cannot put this in my retirement letter because I'll never get to the point. All wonderful people, all very supportive. I'm going to miss everybody. This is kind of mixed emotions on leaving, but I have 7 grandchildren, and now that's where my focus is going to be. But when you need something researched or somebody to look something up, I love that part, so give me a call and I'll come down and find it. Thank you all very much. I have a feeling that some of the members of the council who've been here a little longer than me might want to just say a quick thank you. Should I do that? Will you say anything?
Thank you.
Not to put you on the spot, but
I
anybody
didn't
else?
plan on separating myself from the group, but as I'm sure you know, I've told you many times, thank you for everything you've done. You've taken your job seriously, and you've helped the town of Warren as a great employee, and enjoy those grandkids.
It's been a long time when Joe started, I think he was very nice. I did not mean to single a certain person. I was going to go down the line and ask if any others. I just started.
Well, I'll say thank you. And 30 years, that's an amazing commitment. It's as you well know, sometimes a thankless job. So you you put up with it and hung in there and been a really rock solid component of our town government. So you should be proud of that. So thank you.
I also have people standing behind me.
Yes, of course.
They made me look really good.
Thank you.
Councilman Kalenda?
Yeah, thank you. Julie, I mean, I go back to almost a little over 11 years inside that zoning, and, you were just tremendous, making my transition from zoning into council. You will be greatly missed. I will miss my little popping and tucking out. I didn't make any of the dance problems, but I did drop more food every now and then. So next time I bring food to the girls, I'll make sure I let you know. You come in, you will be greatly missed. And thank you so much for your service. Public service is a call, and you answered the call for more than 3 decades. So you should be highly commended. Thank you. Thank your family for their support. And we will miss you.
And for me, I just want to say thank you, and working with you has been it has always been easy, and it's been pleasant, and it's been fun, and it's been funny, and it's been as it should be. And walking into town hall, into the clerk's office has always felt very welcoming to me. When Mom and I first started our business here 17 years ago, she immediately connected with everybody in the office, me especially, and just such fond memories. So you will be missed. I know that in the industry in the state of Rhode Island, in the clerks, you all regarded it as one of the best, and I'm sure that you will be missed among those as well. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alrighty, we are going to take a brief pause here. According to some of the viewers, there are some sound issues, and our support staff here has asked that we just take a moment. So everybody, relax. Alrighty, so we are back now, and hopefully audio issues have been resolved. I just want to say a couple quick words. One, we will need to be mindful of the clock tonight. It is 7:15, but there is a 10 p.m. curfew. I don't anticipate this meeting is going to get to there, but should it approach, we will have to break the meeting down and or end the meeting so that we all have time to get home safely. And also, just on a more somber note, the numbers are not good right now in the state of Rhode Island as far as COVID positive rates go. There are 701 new positive cases right now. The town of Warren has a 6% positivity rate for those who have been tested. There are 186 positive cases now from Warren. So please, people, take care. Be mindful. Wear the masks. Wash your hands. I know you hear this everywhere and see it everywhere, but just be careful because our lives, your lives are so precious, and we need to take care of each other. So that's that. There is no public comment that I am aware. Okay.
I just want to ask Tony, the governor's order said you can go to and from work and work. Aren't we working?
It's not alcohol. I was at curfew when I was on zoning. Midnight meetings.
Well, the report again is that the sound is still not good. I don't know what the resolution to that issue is. We do, okay, so we do have tech support coming in next week. Until then, we apologize for the problems listening to this. We need to get to the agenda item acceptance of minutes. We have two different meetings minutes to approve. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the town council minutes for October 13th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. I am going to ask that each member of the council please audibly state your vote, or we will go to your roll call votes. I have heard that feedback that people don't hear whether a vote is unanimous or who is approving and who is dissenting, so that you can all just audibly state your vote, and that will make things more. We have next the executive session minutes.
Motion to accept the October 13th, 2020 executive session minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, if you could just put your executive session minutes forward on the consent. Next, we have the consent agenda. So P1 through P6, which are on page 4, 5, and 6 of the agenda. These are renewals that are passed through the clerk's office. They are for billing, entertaining, gaming, those fees have been waived, bowling alley, outdoor dining, and there's one for Hope and Main. So those, unless somebody wants to pay one of them, no action is needed.
My only concern was, as we heard, police or fire had no issues.
It is my understanding that police and fire have had no issues with those, that part. Later, when we get to PH1, we will have a public hearing for all those licenses that have alcohol attached to them, which is more the concern. But as far as I know, there have been no concerns raised by either police or fire.
I will make a motion when we pass consent agenda P1 through P6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to OB1, Chapter 18, Article 5. This is the tree ordinance, Section 18-101 through Section 18-120. This is the first reading. So last month, we read over the ordinance page by page, and expressed our opinions on various aspects. We have before us, not the copy that was in your packet, but the copy that is before you on your desk, the clean copy that has all of the notes. So there is nobody from the tree commission, either
Chuck Staten is online.
Okay, so the chair of our tree commission is on the line for the conversation. We did receive a memo from the town manager regarding the tree ordinance that was somewhat of a timeline, and for those who are not here, that timeline goes that in 2002, the first ordinance was created and approved. It was a very short document. In 2012, there was a revised ordinance submitted along with the tree administrative guidelines. That review continued on into 2013, and in October of that year, a second reading of that document was denied by a vote of 2 to 3, and that included the tree administrative guidelines, which has been sort of floating in obscurity and without any attached approval or acknowledgement to this point. In January of 2016, a revised draft ordinance was unanimously approved by the council, and the tree administrative guidelines were referenced in the document, but not included in the review, so they were never really officially acknowledged and made part of the ordinance. So it is recommended that this evening we do include them as we move forward. So they will make it onto the agenda for the second reading, so that they can be adopted, even though they're not really, it's not part of the ordinance per se, but they can be acknowledged, so they are officially part of the record.
Correct, it'd be incorporated by reference into the ordinance that's appropriate to do it the second reading.
Okay. All right. So with that, if you have all reviewed the document now with the amendments and edits that were made at the previous meeting, I don't know that it is necessary unless somebody would like to go line by line. There was discussion at the previous meeting about addressing certain issues, protecting trees through different mechanism, through a zoning mechanism. That is not part of tonight's discussion. That can be addressed outside of this meeting. But the document as it stands here, I think is ready for the discussion. I will ask if anybody on the council has any part of this that they would like to amend or discuss, and then allow the tree warden to talk about it. And good, apparently the sound is better. So, do any members of the council have anything they would like to discuss? Councilman Pecker would like to.
Thanks, Council President. I know we talked about this last month, but I'd like to look at that again. That is under 18108, duties and responsibility of the tree warden. Section C duties, number 1. Eliminated and must notify tree commission before any tree is posted for removal. I think we discussed that, but I don't remember why we're taking that out, why we should take that out, because in my mind, the tree commission should be notified if the tree is being removed. Looking down.
3.
So it's page 3, C, duties, and you took out must notify the tree commission.
Well, Madam President, Mayor, isn't it understood if the tree warden is doing the planning, that the tree commission would be in the loop?
No.
Isn't the tree warden working in concert with the tree commission?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. He should be, and that person should be, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always I don't know, my understanding is that the tree board does not attend all of the tree commission meetings, and, I've heard some feedback. So, I mean, I don't know all the specifics, but it just seems, why take that last part of that?
And address that?
Yes, Manager Michaud.
If you turn to page 5, section 18-112.1, section B, I think that previous section was removed, and instead this section clarifies that the tree warden shall notify the chair of the tree commission before any tree is posted for removal, with such notification serving as notification to the tree commission. So I think it was just a reorder
Okay,
and clarification that notifying the chair serves as notification to the board in general.
Thank you. I was trying to find that. I thought I recalled that there was a note that it kind of got switched to numbers, so good to know. Any other comments or questions?
I do, in that same, under C duties, number 3, the tree warden shall formulate a master tree management plan with assistance of the tree commission. Master tree management plan should include the inventory of existing trees and shall specify the species of the tree checked and maintained, removed, and or planted on each of the streets, parks, and other public places. To my knowledge, that's been in there for a while, and we've had, to my knowledge, no action on that, or my speaking.
I know that I've attended tree commission meetings with the tree warden, well, that this has been discussed, but I don't believe the work has actually been completed. They talked about bringing in URI or students to help with a tree. The first step, I guess, would be the tree inventory, but I don't believe that there has actually been anything completed on that.
That's my understanding as well, and I bring this up, not to point out that it hasn't been done, but just that it seems like an important step, and that if the tree warden and the tree commission don't have the time and the resources to do this, then it seems we should take some concrete steps to help make that happen. And maybe even put some language in here that there should be a report on some periodic basis to show the work that's being done. I think it does seem like it's put in there for a reason, obviously. And again, it's been a long time, so that's my.
Thank you. Perhaps that could be an agenda item for the next council meeting, discussion and action in regard to some projects for the tree commission, and you can get their feedback as far as any resources or support they need.
May I, one last question?
You may.
So the administrative guidelines would be something to discuss next meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
in the.
That's what I was saying, what you were explaining, so I'll hold back on any stuff there.
Any,
I thought the administrative guidelines, I thought we were going to refer them to with this on the first reading. The second page.
yes,
second packet.
yes,
So if we prove this, we need to attach these as part of the document.
yes, and that will pass them on to the second.
Okay.
Councilman Calendar, do you have any
No, I have nothing at this time.
comments,
Thank you.
questions?
Nope.
At this time, tree commissioner, or chair of the tree commission, Staten, did you have any questions or comments that you'd like to add?
Chuck?
I have no questions.
I will make a motion to approve the first reading of the tree ordinance and attach the existing tree administration guidelines to go through as part of the first reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, a moment of discussion. So this document, as it exists now with the edits and the changes as given to us by the tree commission, was in fact put out to both the Conservation Commission and the Warren Voluntary Historic District Commission, asking for any feedback. We have not received any, there were no comments from them. Not yet, but I would expect the second meeting, being a public hearing, we can more or less make their comments. I will make sure they also have the treatment. All right, thank you very much. So, passing this, we have a motion to pass this on to the second reading. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? OB2, this is the chapter 11, article 1B, mobile food establishments, and 19, section 373, to add any applicant not meeting the criteria set forth in this ordinance may appeal their application to the town council. This is the first reading. Any comments, questions, or issues with this? This is kind of just cleaning up some language to the ordinance to make it easier for mobile food establishments to do business near a established restaurant if there were any instances.
I'll make a motion, we approve OB2, mobile, article XIV, mobile food establishment.
I'll second that for the first reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Alrighty, so next we go to the public hearing for the renewal of the 2019-2020 alcoholic beverage licenses. So the first group that covers the various lettered classes have all had their fee reduced by 25% for the 2021 licenses. That was agreed at a previous council meeting. I will go through chunk by chunk, and then we should we approve them chunk by chunk, or can we go through?
I would recommend doing it back on time, depending on class A, for example. Motion should be to renew, but not issue pending comply with state and local regulations.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I have a question for correction. The class A one.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
For the record.
yes, that is so. Class A being the liquor stores, we have three of those, they remain in line. You are correct, they did not receive a reduction in fees. So class A,
We're going to read these into the record, but we've got to close, eventually have to close the public hearing and vote on.
right, can we leave the public
Yes,
hearing
you can.
open
Yes, you
for the
can.
entire time and close it at
Correct.
the very end?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Class A, 1 and 3, 1776 Liquors of Barrington, Inc., doing business as Patriot Wine and Spirits at 145 Main Street. Bristol County Spirits, Inc., doing business as Ocean State Liquors at 601 Metcalf Avenue, and Malice Liquors, Inc., at 254 Market Street. So we are going to entertain a motion.
Do we have any input on, the police and fire have any input on these three licenses?
They're on the line, but I did speak to them today and they didn't have any objection.
Okay.
But again, any approval will be subject to, local.
Correct.
And Sandy, our clerk, will let us know if there are any, members of the public who wanted to speak in favor or against any of these. So we will assume that she will let us know if there is somebody on the line who wants to speak specifically to our license.
So do we need a motion for these, or do we need to close the public hearing?
No, public hearing is going to remain open.
Okay, and
So a motion to renew,
okay,
for provision that it's not going to be issued until all compliance with local and state regulation.
I will make a motion to approve the Class A licenses, pending not to be be issued until state and local requirements have been met.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So the Class A have been passed. Class BVL, Unit 5. These are Blount Fine Foods Corporation doing business as the Blount Clam Shack at 347 Water Street. New England Authentic Eats doing business as Papagenos at 623 Matacon Avenue. Open Flame Inc. doing business as Judith Bowling Lanes at 409 Charles Street. One House of Pizza Inc. at 464 Main Street.
Again, the same question, any comments from fire or police?
They do not have any, and again, they're on the line.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask, there's so many of them, I'm gonna ask that after each class, just in case there's one that they want to talk about. All right, I'll make a, motion that we pass the class BBL eviction licenses,
Second.
All in favor?
pending local and state compliance. That's the issue until they're compliant with state and local compliance.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Class BBL has passed. Class BG. And they are 54 State Street LLC doing business as Bywater at 54 State Street. 632 Metacom Avenue Inc. doing business as Hometown Tavern at 632 Metacom Avenue. C&M Hospitality LLC doing business as Federal Hill Freight Oven Pizza at 495 Main Street. Cigar Roll LLC doing business as Cigar Roll East at 644 Metacom Avenue. Crossroad Pub Inc. doing business as Crossroad Restaurant at 133 Market Street. Davos BS Inc. doing business as Market Street Pub, 99 Market Street. Dunwell Inc. doing business as Eli's Kitchen at 40 Market Street. Fork in the Road LLC doing business as Bloody Roots at 509 and 511 Main Street. Galactic Theater LLC, 508 Main Street. HFC Global Inc. doing business as Mr. Chicken at 275 Child Street. Jack's Family Restaurant Inc. at 294 Child Street. KGM Court doing business as Lawrence Restaurant at 601A Metacom Avenue. Luke's Inn Court at 650 Metacom Avenue. Palmer River Grill LLC doing business as Palmer River Grill at 382 Market Street. Corelli's Restaurant Court doing business as Corelli's Restaurant at 311 Metacom Avenue. Perfect Hospitality LLC doing business as Uptown Food and Spirits at 437 Main Street. Pistolas Inc. doing business as Pinata Mexican Restaurant. Should that be allowed Pinata? Or do they just call themselves Pinata? It does not matter.
I don't think it matters,
Okay.
as long as the address is there in common language.
All right, and we can hear them. 520 Main Street. Renegade Restaurant Group LLC doing business as The Revival at 50 North. Richardson Properties LLC doing business as Richardson's Kitchen and Bar at 15 Charles Street. Sea Oaks LLC doing business as Metacom Kitchen at 322 Metacom Avenue. Spindrift Hospitality Group LLC doing business as Shop Kitchen and Drink at 440 Charles Street. Tavino Inc. doing business as Tavino Admiral Club at 267 Water Street. The Carey Corporation doing business as the Square Peg, 51 Miller Street. The Guild Warren LLC doing business as the Guild Warren at 99 Water Street. Trafford's Inc. doing business as Trafford's Restaurant at 285 Water Street. Water Dog Inc. doing business as Water Dog Kitchen and Bar at 125 Water Street. Waterfront Investments LLC doing business as The Wharf at 215 Water Street. Windmill Hill Golf Course Inc. at 35 Schoolhouse Road. And that is it for the Class BB license.
Do we have any input from fire or police regarding any of these establishments for the PB?
T2 said that they're all fine, but as long as you put in the contingency at our meeting at state and local requirement.
I will make a motion, we pass the class BV licenses, as long as the licenses are subject to the satisfaction of state statute and town ordinance before issuance.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Class BVs are passed. Class C, Jack's Bar Inc., 187 Water Street.
Any? Sorry, Jake.
No issues.
Okay, I will make a motion when we pass the Class C license for Jack Bar Inc. pending, state and town ordinances before issuance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Class C is passed, and finally, Class D, which is Club Recreativo and Cultural for the Daisy One at 132 Child Street, East Warren Rod and Gun Club at 24 Long Lane, Italian American Citizens Club at 13 Kelly Street, Warren German American Club at 27 Kelly Street, and Warren Portuguese American Club at 112 Arlington Avenue. No issues.
I make a motion we pass the Class D licenses subject to state statute and town ordinances before issuance.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, we can move on to PH. Oh, we need to, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing has been closed.
You need to follow that with a motion to approve what we did in the public hearing?
No, you did already.
All right, so PH2 is a public hearing for a kennel license. This is from Richard and Hillary Davis at 4 Poconoket Trail in Warren. All spayed, neutered, not for business purpose only, for family pet, number of dogs 4. So in Warren, you are allowed to have 3 dogs, and any additional require a special permit. And does anybody have any questions or issues with this request?
I believe they've had one in the past, and it was for the same reason. I don't have any issue with it.
No, it's obviously for, it's not for business purposes.
All right, hearing none, do we have a motion?
I would make a motion to bring the
Public hearing.
Okay,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
With condition to say, specific to what was presented at the last meeting and not for commercial purposes, just to lock in with the applicant last said, accepting those functions that come on.
I will make a motion to approve the kennel license, as presented at last month's meeting, not for commercial purposes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations on the third name dog. All right. So we have completed consent. So we are moving on to the lower part of page 6 on the agenda. And that is a request for a Class F beverage license for Mount Hope High School Boosters Club, Taratoto, at 199 Chestnut Street in Bristol, Rhode Island, 02809. And this for an event dated November 28, 2020 at the Pizzeria Pavilion. So is Ms. Thibodeau on the line?
Yes, one moment. Tara?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Go ahead. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Tara. I believe Vice President Stanley has a question.
Tara, I'm just looking at the application and it looks like you put somebody else had filled it out first, but I know you don't live at 199 Chestnut Street in Bristol.
That's the high school's address. Because the Boosters organization, their mailing address is 199 Chestnut.
Okay. Just kind of confused me a little bit.
Tara, for publicity purposes, maybe you want to tell people a little bit about this event that you will support and what it's going to be.
So due to the fact that we haven't really been able to fundraise, we are looking to do a fundraising effort for the athletic boosters at Mount Hope High School. This will go towards kids who need equipment that they can't afford it. This will go towards scholarships. This will go towards expenses that are incurred for the athletic department that the budget does not cover. And it just kind of helps us because we lost 2 of our major fundraisers due to the COVID-19.
Okay.
It's going to be, yeah, it is going to be at the pavilion. If anybody is interested in playing some cornhole, it's going to be a great day. We're hoping for weather like today, if that's possible. And so we promised to make it a fun time. So anybody who is interested, the information is on the Facebook page, or they can contact me and we can get them signed up.
Thank you. So for the serious stuff, currently the limit on for sizes on outdoor events of that nature is 150. I see you have 100 here is about what we're expecting. In the event that the governor's mandates or reduces the number of people for an event like that, of course, you would have to be in compliance for that. And you have in fact submitted a COVID plan to the Department of Business Regulations.
Madam President, the COVID plan comes to the town. The fire chief, police chief, and I have reviewed it. The police chief is going to request that there be a police detail at that event. The only other request that we collectively have is that the license be issued subject to whatever governor's executive orders is on crowd size.
And also proper insurance, liability.
That, yes.
At least it is the plan to be.
Okay. And has a person been identified who will be in charge of contact tracing?
So we have, everyone is signing up via a sign up site. So we will have everyone's contact information via the sign up registration.
Very well, thank you. Sounds organized and you thought of everything. And are there questions from the council?
I just have one real, hey, hi, Tara. I noticed that it says all servers are tip certified, but I only see the tip certification for Jody. Is she your only main bartender?
She will be.
Okay, great. And congratulations on your
Thank you.
winning the seat of the school committee. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited.
I will make a motion to grant the Class F beverage license for 11/28/2020, pending working out any details with the fire and police chief. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
P8, request for expansion of the yearly outdoor entertainment license from Waterfront Investments LLC doing business as the Wharf at 215 Water Street here in Warren. Entertainment would be soft background music, 1 to 2 person musicians playing. I would ask the planner Louie to just give us a little rundown of some of the parameters that the zoning board has included in this expansion.
Prepared a memo that should have been in your packets. There are 15 conditions that the zoning board has put on the application. Initially, when they were granted permission for the special use permit to have the third floor outside deck last year, they did not request entertainment. As they got into the season this year, and with the interruption of business with COVID, they thought that it might be beneficial to have entertainment. They've gone through a process. They hired a sound engineer. A report was issued. They had a site visit with the sound engineer where they replicated the conditions that were in the report. There was a good deal of input from local residents, nearby residents. So these additional conditions take into consideration some of the concerns that neighbors had. There is a 6-month review on this, so it's not for the entire year. And Mr. Carroll and his wife are recovering where they get tested positive for COVID, so they're not able to be here.
Thank you. Do any members of the council have?
Yeah, have we had any issues with that deck so far?
No.
No complaint, no issues? Okay. I have a question, Mr. Wu. You say that at the zoning board, the neighbors, the immediate neighbors there,
Yes.
everybody that was on Lower Street.
I don't know if everyone on Miller Street.
Well, there's only 2 houses.
The people over there right next to them with Doc have been involved in this process from the beginning, and we're at the hearing.
But, Mr. Karen Howard,
They have no contact. Yeah, nothing in the record.
Everybody was notified.
Yes, yep.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
I'll comment that it was a very thorough job done with that on-site testing. I was there. The butters, we have an opportunity at this point to speak if they wanted to, correct?
Correct.
Is there anybody on the line? Any of the others?
No.
And to be clear, should there be between the time, should we approve this and between the time of the approval and the review period next August, if there are issues, and complaints come in, there would be an opportunity for a show cause hearing or?
Absolutely, and the way that Bob has presented this as one of these conditions is 2 mechanisms. First is sending the house for a violation of non-zoning, et cetera, or actual cause hearing violation of one of the conditions as Bob has presented.
All right,
We have 2 avenues.
thank you. Yeah, so the abutters, the neighbors, the people who live in that area are all aware of this, so that is some additional level of security and comfort for them, that they know they are not bound by something that is, that they can't live with.
Correct.
Madam President, if I may, oh,
Councilman Parker, go
Grant,
ahead.
no, the Grant, go ahead. If you want to continue your
Quick
question.
follow-up question on that. What would trigger that show cause? It's no complaint?
It would be a violation.
It'll be documented. Again, I think the civil complaint was certainly put on my notice. However, either show cause or council call, I think, put on my notice for us, maybe in person, written, et cetera. 2 or 3 violations will certainly get our attention and bring before you one of the council call.
I just wanted to make that clear for the public.
Correct. It's very low tolerance for violations of the noise ordinance. The noise ordinance is a lot of not allowed. How to report any complaints, and one of the conditions is that the property owner has to have a certified machine to be his own. So going out,
That's
all of it,
Yeah.
I'm removing 6 speakers on the front, first level. So those, we talked about every possible detail to make sure we mitigated any noise issues. So I, this complaint, I think, very clear that, be very low tolerance.
Councilman Kalenda, do you have a question?
Yeah, more of a comment, I wanted to comment on, the memorandum that was prepared by our planner. I have been down in that area several times, and the zoning board should be commended, the planner should be commended, even the applicant should be commended, as well as the abutters, as being able to work this out. They really drilled down, they've gone above and beyond what we did when I was on zoning and Plum was going through having music at the Clam Shack. You read the memorandum, you can get down into the nuts and bolts that they thought of every possible scenario where the applicant has to have a certified noise meter on the property so that to make sure that he is compliant with the removal of the 6 speakers. I'm comfortable, I'm confident in that this was the right decision. I support it fully. And we also have to take in mind that one simple complaint won't trigger that show cause. We actually need to make sure that there's a violation.
Correct.
A founded violation before we're starting to correct. Yeah. So thank you to the planner. I reached out to Bob, but his work on this was above and beyond, and also Kate too. Great job. Thank you very much. And thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. Council Vice President Hamlin.
Yeah, mine is, I'm a little concerned about it returning to the zoning board for review. Get a solicitor, can they actually do that?
We actually did the same thing with Blount. They put subject to lines.
Because I was thinking if we approve this, make our approval for the same time as the zoning board hearing, just in case. Correct. There's a legal issue, then we will have them here anyway for the license at the same time.
Well, it's the special use permit, not to speak for the solicitor, but the special use permit falls under the zoning. So what zoning did is they put a conditional on a 6-month review, and then that'll trigger the special use going into full effect.
Correct.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any further questions? Do we have a motion?
Move the public hearing. It's not a public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we approve P8, the request for an expansion of the yearly outdoor entertainment license from the applicant Waterfront Investments LLC DBA The Wharf at 215 Water Street.
Does there need to be further clarification in the motion to the
I was
entertainment?
going to go into a little bit of detail.
The conditions are.
Yeah, I was going to go into a little bit of detail. As far as the entertainment, self-ground background music, 1 to 2 person musician, and the memorandum issued to us by the zoning board will go into full effect of all the conditions that they put into the order when they issued the special use permit. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We next have correspondence. There are 4 letters in correspondence. Everybody's read the BCW Ray monthly report. Then there are 4 resignations and the Neil Beverage report. The C2, the letter of resignation from juvenile planning board member Mario and who served valiantly and honorably for a very long time. Do we have a motion to?
Motion to accept the resignation and letters of thanks.
Yeah, I will second that. And Madam President, if I may just have a quick moment on, Mario's resignation. Publicly, I would just like to personally thank him for his, on behalf of the council. I know we all feel the same way. What an outstanding job he's done with juvenile care. He will be missed, but I believe he just feels it's time to just move on to something else. So I wish him the best of luck.
And in that motion, can we include advertising for the position? There are actually 2 vacancies.
Yeah, I'll amend that motion to, did I make the motion?
You did.
I'll amend my motion to include advertising.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And C3 is a letter of resignation from Warren Volunteers for District Board of Appeals member Louise Kenny. So we appreciate her many years of service on this very busy board. Has Denise ever had to make a judgment on the appeal? In theory, but they actually haven't. Well, in spirit, I am sure she served with integrity and honor.
I think you should be amended, standing ready.
Well, my motion was to send letters to both of the people resigning, so she gets a letter.
She gets a letter, and we will advertise. How many, there are now 2 spots
Yes.
open on that board? So there are 2 spots on the juvenile care board and 2 spots on the Voluntary Historic District Board of Appeals. So that in mind, anybody who is listening out there to the land. So we have a motion and a second for this, for C3. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then C4 is the state of Rhode Island Meal and Beverage report, which looks really good. I mean, for July and August, I think the town did tremendously well considering the burden that we are all operating under. Our restaurants and bars brought in some dollars for us, and we thank it for it. we hope that they will be able to continue doing that kind of good business going forward. Manager, you show how they on it? Sure, I just want to make one quick point. If you look at I'm always looking at year over year. If you look to month, it doesn't really do justice because months fluctuate. But the year over year, if you look at the August report, the fiscal year to date, this year versus last year, I just want to make a note that we're actually up 20.1% as of the end of August, and that's the highest percent increase in the state. So, just wanted to make that note. Obviously, this is all highly weather dependent. Restaurants are going to really rely on people supporting them throughout the bad weather and the beautiful sunny days. So, there's a lot of challenges ahead, but you've done wonderfully considering everything we've had to deal with. And this past weekend, the Sunday, the third Sunday of the walkabout series was, the restaurants were just hopping and people were in good spirits and wearing masks and eating and drinking and shopping. So let's keep that positive motion moving forward. On to, unless anybody has any other comments, on to old business. So discussion and action regarding the social media policy. We were all presented with feedback to review over this past month. Edits and comments were sent in. They appear here in red on this draft copy. There's a lot of sort of really sensible, obvious, reasonable information here. Not a huge number of changes or updates, just a little bit of few little edits. I think the greater question here is going to be the policy of enforcement and the method of who enforces who and what. As this is a policy that covers elected and appointed officials and appointed members of boards and commissions, some of whom may also be employees of the town. So there are multiple policies and that cover these various people, including the charter. So I will put it out there if any member of the council would like to start off with some questions or comments or opinions.
Yeah, I believe in the way this is set up. Is anyone that is appointed by the town manager would answer, I believe should answer to the town manager. Anyone that is appointed by the council should answer to the council for the violations. In other words, you can't have the town manager discipline someone from the zoning board when they don't really answer to her, they answer to us because we appoint them. So I think there should be some mechanism in that to distinguish who goes to where. Just because it's not, you know, you can't, she doesn't, I don't think she has the authority to punish a zoning board member under the charter. I believe only the council can do that. So that would be now, and the other thing would be, I don't have a problem with if someone creates a violation and it gets reported to the town manager. I don't have a problem with that if it's a council appointee, but it should come to the council and not the town manager for any disciplinary or actions like that. That would be my biggest concern.
And I think you're referring to section 3.13 of the town charter, which is the non-interference clause. I think that's something that we could work on social media policy to make sure that there's a clear division. Actually, but there's a clear division between that. If it's an employee that goes to the town manager, so that the that process would take place for the employee to handle that way. But you're correct, if it is an appointed official, that would go to the town council as well as elected.
Right. Well, but the elected would have to go through the town charter process, not the town charter would supersede this.
That's actually something we discussed too. There's references to the mechanisms in the town charter to dealing with elected officials and how they get removed from office. But I agree with you. It's something that could be clearer in the next version
of the charter, right? Because the charter, I believe it says a charter violation is convenient for just removal from office or There's a couple other things, you know, like felony and something like this or that, but not a social media.
Yeah.
I mean, my concern is as an elected official, if I'm campaigning and I put something that somebody finds offensive on my site, just look at this last election, okay? No matter what either side put on their site, somebody's gonna find it offensive. I don't wanna see anybody get removed from office for doing something like that. I mean, hell, if somebody said they support Trump, that was enough to offend somebody and they wanna go burn a guy's house down. So is that offensive? That's when we're going on a slippery slope. We even get involved in politics and removing another council member from the bench because of an opinion or a statement. Unless it's something grave, I think the people of the organization be removed from office. I don't think if you make a bad, stupid Facebook post, I don't think you should be able to be removed from office. I think maybe, you know, people could run do a recall or something if it's really, really bad. But I don't think for something like that, the 5 of us should be pulling another one off the seat because somebody found something offensive. I got a problem.
So if I may, Madam President, I believe the policy is dealing towards in the capacity of either you're acting in the capacity as a town employee or a member of the council or a member of the zoning board or a member of the planning board or any other board of commission. And then you put something in that capacity which would go against our policy, but I don't think our policy, I didn't see anything in the policy that would address in the matter of campaigning, you want to support somebody who's running for rep and you're not going to support somebody else who's running on the other side of the rep, that would be a violation of this policy. Am I?
Well,
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
No, and
It could be boiled down to that simple.
Yeah.
If one campaign offends somebody else.
And if I may even just to reinforce my point is I was reading the Rhode Island Constitution, which would go along with our charter, and the part of what happens if somebody leaves office, how do you remove an individual from an elected position? And the Constitution actually breaks it down step by step. So I don't really think that something like that would go. But if you want to have more clarification, I'm okay with that. But I think we're moving in the right direction.
I agree.
Yeah.
And when you get to an elected official, remove from office, you're undoing an election.
Yeah.
You know, it could be.
Because I don't think it would meet the threshold of removing somebody because it has to.
That's not what it says.
Yeah.
There's 2 common methods to remove an elected official. That's recall, you can get recalled. And the other one is if there's a charter violation.
Yeah.
After a trial, before the council.
Right.
That public official can be removed.
Yeah.
That kind of segregates things out and it can be more clarity. But I think the purpose of the social media policy is less geared towards the elected official in free speech and campaigning than it is to employees and members of the boards. And if somebody is on a board, that's different than running for office. And, you know, those types of things can make it so that the town is subject to liability because, you know, if someone, if the comments are per se offensive, but it's directed towards an applicant, that is something that is actionable in Rhode Island. In fact, you know, the towns have been subjected to money. So,
yeah. Would violating this constitute a charter violation?
Are we referring to page 7, where it actually says discipline paragraph 8?
I'm actually referring to the whole document. So.
Correct, but if we're going to speak, we should speak specifically to what's in this document that's in front of us. A lot of your concerns and questions are right there.
I think some of the questions are what are perceived to be things that need to be more clear in the draft.
But if you read this paragraph, the clarity speaks for itself. It's not like this is.
No, but Joe, the whole point is this: if violating this is a charter violation, that is grounds for the rest of the council to remove the other person from that seat per the charter. This would per the charter, which supersedes this. The charter says a charter violation is found guilty after trial in front of the other council members, that member can be removed from office. So if violating this is a charter violation, then you can be removed from office by the other 4 people still sitting on the bench.
Because no, see,
Okay.
it came to me actually, because actually agreed with Wally on it, but what he has, and I think what he's referring to is on page 7. A violation of this policy may constitute good cause for removal of appointed officials under the town charter. Elected officials may be subject to a request for their resignation, public censure, or reprimand, or a recall petition in accordance with the town charter. So, in that circumstance, the town charter does have a recall provision.
Correct.
This could serve as the basis for the recall petition, but the petition procedure in the charter would have to be adhered to. Other than that, absent that, what the council could do in something like that is do a censure or a reprimand, which is, doesn't remove you from office, but it just says, hey, you shouldn't do this.
Right, so in other words, so basically a violation of this is not a town charter violation per se.
Correct, and my suggestion, I hold to the suggestion, and we discussed this. We can make some clarity on that just to make sure there's no question.
Okay, Councilman Becker?
So, I understand, Vice President Hamlin's, distinction between, who would identify a violation, and perhaps, enforcement will be the town manager for her hirees, and for the council would be our appointees. My question is, who would be the gatekeeper on that, of complaints coming to council? Who would be the gatekeeper? Because I think you could get a lot of really ridiculous complaints that are pretty frivolous, I'd say. And I'd be reluctant to have all of that stuff funneled up to us for no good reason.
If I may, that's on page 5, paragraph Roman numeral 5. And that, to me, sets the gatekeeper as the town manager. So if there's a complaint, it will go to the town manager for investigation. I tried to get the traffic commission, they can go along with that. But that's your gatekeeper right there. So one of the duties that the town manager would have would be to actually investigate and vet these complaints. And I think make a report to the town council to say, look, this is what happened. This is what my investigation discloses.
Well, I would agree with that if it dealt with an employee, but if it was something to do with one of us, I think all she would do is forward it to us.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
There wouldn't be any, we would be doing our own due diligence. But yeah, as far as an employee, 100% agree with that. 100%.
Okay, so it's my sort of understanding and feeling about this, that the need for a social media policy is in response and reaction to the fact that we live in a world where people communicate via a number of different outlets online and sort of somewhat anonymously, though using their names, and say and express things that they would probably never express to a person face to face. And we are definitely, I hope, coming out of a period of time where the really unpleasant and violent and aggressive stuff is hopefully going to tamper down and relax. But because people are so, because it is such a method of communication and conversation and expression today, I think that the need for a policy like this is addressing situations that are pretty extreme. And those type of situations are few and far between and rare and somewhat moderating and our self-police within that sort of chat and that communication that exists out there. So on that Facebook page or in that chat room or Instagram or whatever the media is that people are using, people tend to sort of moderate and police each other. But when something crosses a line and is, as is mentioned here, profane, obscene, violent, pornographic, fosters or perpetuates discrimination on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, gender, physical and mental disability, sexual orientation, religion, age, family status, military status, source of income, defamatory personal attacks, threats to any person. Those are the type of things that I think we're really trying to make a stance and set a policy that says that type of really hateful and violent, those kind of hateful and violent words will not be tolerated and are not acceptable. He has no place here. And that's pretty well, explained here. I don't think that any of us are looking for an excuse to unseat each other or whatever. I think that in the past, those really abhorrent and unpleasant examples of these types of communications have come to us and have been shared to us. And with a document like this, used prudently and sort of in the right way, we can address those issues, which hopefully will not be, hopefully we won't need to use this, but it will be nice to have this in place. So when a line is crossed, there is a clear and stated method of addressing the situations. I would be in favor of when those violations come to either a member of the council or to the manager does a thorough investigation, determines whether a violation has in fact occurred, and then an agenda item for discussion and action can take place at the council, and whether that happens at a regular meeting or if it's so necessary that a special meeting has to happen, then we can convene and address that situation at the time. I think it would make sense for this document, once it is in a condition that we all agree on, being given to each new appointee and be signed off on. So we are sure that every member, whether they are currently serving or becoming a newly appointed member of a board or commission, gets this and understands it and is used to it. I can see that managing the show has something to say. Sure, I just wanted to make a couple points. Just first, there is a large section as well dealing with town-held social media accounts. So just to make it clear, we're not looking to monitor people's private Facebook pages and social media. A lot of this language deals directly with if there is an account that is in the town's name, that is seeking to represent the town itself, then there are restrictions on what that account can be used for. And then, as far as making sure the word gets out, Councilman Kalenda had a good suggestion. I would like to schedule, once this is in its final format, schedule a couple of Zoom webinars, have one maybe with employees, one with boards and commissions, and just kind of go through the policy with everyone, make sure there's no questions. It'd be voluntary, people don't have to attend or get a paper copy, but just in case anybody wants to talk about it and to make sure that everyone understands it.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I would like to also do the solicitor in regards to gatekeeping. I believe that the manager should rely on their expertise and what they're dealing with law and the standards of the charter and all of that. It should also be in this copy that it goes to the solicitor as well. I feel it's a good check and balance also. Secondly, I'd like to point out that without this on the books, you do run afoul with freedom of speech. Once this is on the books, we're not curtailing any freedom of speech. It's an ordinance that's in act already there. So served, there are rules. And it's not taking away any of your ability to express or express on service. It has to do with safety. It has to do with anything that in this document we don't accept. And that's the reason why this has to be there. Years ago, we were dealing with issues that we was as it is, and we created a code of conduct primarily for in-house actions. At the time, there was a few discussions, and we also at the time realized that without having anything on the books, you're unable to say you agree to this by service. That's what this does. Unfortunately, if it's not there, we can't say that your actions are offensive, as offensive as they may be. We're not looking at these as a judgment call, whether we're offended or not. We're looking at it as an acceptance of the amount of board commission and these responsibilities that go along. So, I hope,
And Madam President, if I may, just real quick, make a comment. Great job, Kate. Nicely done putting this together for us. And I just want to be clear, is this policy is we're creating a standard that we want our employees, our commission, our board and commission members, all our volunteers that fall under the umbrella of the town of Warren, that this is the standard that we're going to expect you to maintain. And that's what this policy is. And, I support the policy. It is the right thing to do. We need to do it. And nobody's going to infringe upon your free speech. It's just, this is the guideline. This is the rule book that we're going to use when we go by doing our social media. Plain and simple. So thank you, Jay. Thank you very much.
I agree. I think we do need a policy. My biggest concern is that it's weaponized, like everything in this day and age gets weaponized. It's used for purposes it was not meant to be put in for. And that's why I'm so questioning about actually enacting it. We do need it for sure, because we do want to set a standard. But I'm just concerned that in today's day and age, it's going to get weaponized.
Well, that's why we're here, it's a checks and balances.
Who says we won't weaponize it? Whoever fills in for that, they're not going to.
That's a very good point. I've had that conversation with solicitors, administrators, and it's like, it's not so that I'm so concerned about what we're doing today, is I've got to think about the future. And that's a very, very valid point. But I think we can be able to tweak this and go down and get it in the right position, in the right position.
I question the validity of that concern, because if you look at page 4, anybody who wants to bring up any one of those 6 items there, we've got no room here. You're not being weaponized, nothing's being used against you. Driven hate speech or anything that's in that list.
But Joe, who determines if what you did conforms to that list? The members of the council. Correct.
Your hate speech is plain and simple. It's a violation of the law. You're calling out somebody's health. You're calling out somebody's sexual orientation. These are cornerstones. These are fundamental principles that we live by. These are laws. Most of these, there's an opinion.
Can you define pornography?
Yeah, when I see it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. There's a good definition for it. Okay, it's just the way in today's day and age, everything gets weaponized. Now, like I said, I think this is a great idea, and I know us as the 5 gatekeepers, at least for the next 2 years, it's going to be fine. 15 years down the road, is it going to be worse? But we do need something in place. And I guess 15 years down the road, if it gets out of hand, it'll be up to the people that are sitting here to redirect it. So.
And that's why we have elections.
Yeah.
So if people believe that we were worthy of being up here and this is our job to draft policy for the town, then this is our obligation to do this. So with some polishing up as far in regards to the comments that are made tonight, I think we are probably at a point where we can get this to the next next step. Yes.
Just real quick, thank you. It's not unreasonable for probably we wouldn't be going down uncharted territory. If we had a review for our policies, you know, I speak by CLIA, the standard for accreditation for police at the national level. The Rhode Island accreditation, they have a review policy. You could have a review of this policy annually, you know, whatever, 24 months or whatever, and maybe we need to remove something, add something. I don't think that's anything reasonable or outside. We could put that language in where, you know, you added that last page where, you know, you're signing off on receipt of it. We review the policy annually whenever we put it into effect. So if we pass it at our December meeting, then annually December of 2021, we review it.
The fact that the policy suggests that there would be ongoing review and have it changes. You know, new technologies come in and you know, they get confronted with new issues.
I agree with Councilman Clemens' idea, and it does address Vice President Hamlin's concern about what happens down the road. And obviously, technology will change dramatically, very quickly, even in a short few years. So to have an annual review, I think, appropriate. So I'm gonna make these additions in the form of a motion.
Well, we have another review on this, don't we? Are we bringing this back?
Or will give the person the opportunity to put them in place, then review them as they put them in. So I make a motion that we have the solicitor to get the next spot. Was that one, this is the gatekeeper is where?
Page 5, subsection.
Article 5.
Yeah, Roman numeral B.
My motion is to add solicitor there as well.
So we have a motion to add the solicitor to bottom of page 5, subsection B, and to, I would also add to that, the manager make edits as the comments and suggestions that come through tonight, and then we have a final review of it next month.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Excellent.
Thank you.
Next, we have OP2, discussion and action regarding the extension and or amendment of the town's declaration of state of emergency. Cecily Sisto can speak to this.
As you probably know, you didn't have this on for the October town council meeting. It wasn't necessary. The state had been going on in phase 3. Looked like things were okay, a little bit of an uptick. I had originally thought that would be the same thing here in November, but unfortunately, things not going well. And the governor's, last week, the governor's orders were more stringent than they had been previously. I'm speaking specifically about Executive Order 20-95, which has some restrictions that have rolled back to where they were in the springtime. And because of the nature of those restrictions, the 10 o'clock curfew, limit of 10 social gatherings, and so many of the others, it seemed to me that it was time to renew the local declaration of emergency. So that if local enforcement was necessary, you would have the mechanism in place. I'm sorry it's coming in late. I know it has to be emailed to you, but it's just based on the exigent circumstances that we have. And I recommend it just that you have it in case there's matters that need to be addressed here in the town as the pandemic picks up.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Do we have discussion before the vote?
Discussion, Council Vice President Henley.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's the second one. 10th amended declaration of emergency. That scares the hell out of me. I mean, we are mobile. We are able to meet quickly and make decisions. In my opinion, this is not what a declaration of emergency is for, not to go 10 months. I think we're here to do our job. I think we can do our job in a timely fashion. I think the state should be able to do their job and do it in a timely fashion. They certainly could meet and pick the new speaker of the house. We could have sat down and gone over some of these things. So I'm not going to support this declaration of emergency. I think it's about playing. We're just not doing our job. We were supposed to do our jobs, and not just have dictatorships and states of emergency. So I'm going to vote against this.
Actually, it should be the 11th, but we skipped that one.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that Dan feels that way. And the sad reality of the 250,000 people that are dead and the increase of the virus in the town and state. I think the respect and the good work that's been done because of it is the real thing to do. And I'll follow up and say, I have, personal experience with the spike in COVID, and anything we can do to put this on the map, so to speak, and keep people aware, and I think it's important, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't take this step. There's no harm in doing it. It kind of announces to people that we are still in a state of emergency. I mean, we really are. Again, I have personal experience to testify to that, and so that's why I put this.
I want to follow up to that.
Yeah.
This state of emergency doesn't set any of the policies that you guys are talking about that's helping. This state of emergency defers our power to the town council president. You're telling me that in an emergency, we couldn't get 3 people here within 24 hours to make our own declaration as a body instead of deferring straight to the president. So this doesn't set the policy. It just gives her the chance to set the policy instead of us meeting and discussing it within 24 hours. So this is deferring our power to her. This is not setting any of the policies or saying we're going to do this and we're going to do that. This just takes the power from the council, gives it to the president. It does not set the policies. It does not save lives. It does not have anything to do with wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, staying out late, not staying out late. It just defers the decision making from the council to the president, and that is all designed so if you can't get a meeting together real fast. If there's a hurricane and 3 of us are blown out to Block Island, okay, there's the declaration of emergency. This is not what it's for. It does not set the policy. It allows her to set the policy. Okay, so we're deferring our power with this. We're not saying that we're not going to follow the state. We're just not going to vote on it and agree to do it. It's going to be strictly her power.
Solicitor DeSisto.
That's correct. That's correct point. The way that I read the declaration of emergency, the way it's structured, is for the 30-day period that this 10th one is in effect. If there are new regulations that come in from the state, they can be adopted by the council president. The real purpose, however, of it is to adopt those state regulations on the local level. That would allow the town to go ahead and enforce some of those things, particularly as I mentioned, section Executive Order 20-95. To me, you need to have a declaration of emergency so that there can be local enforcement of some of these provisions. Otherwise, it would be up to the state police, and I know they have some type of a unit for that, but this would allow the town to enforce these issues like social gatherings, curfews, and things of that nature.
Wouldn't we as a council be able to pass that same authority to our Warren police as a vote of the majority of the council?
I actually don't think so statutorily. I'm going through the statutory structure, Title 9, Chapter 15. The governor is allowed to have these emergency orders. And, I got to tell you something, there could be litigation on that. There are a lot of legal scholars that share your view. But there are sections of the law in that chapter that say that a town can adopt
what the state has done, but they need to do it by way of a declaration of emergency. That's why I've been doing it on a monthly basis. That just allows the town, if there's a problem down here in Warren that needs to be addressed, and the police have had some issues, this gives them the basis for them to go forward on that, as opposed to operating under the town code or anything else. You know, it's an emergency situation. Hopefully this won't last much longer. Unfortunately, it looked like it was going away to the point where I didn't even recommend you have one, but there's been this uptick now. So I just view this as something that will allow the town to act. And within the 30-day period, you're correct. If something comes down from the governor, for instance, as he was telling me this Thursday, there's probably going to be something else. That would just allow the town council president to do something in that basis. This one lasts for 30 days. Hopefully it won't be renewed again in December, but if it does, then I'll be back again with the 11th.
Madam President, I just have one question for the solicitor. I was reading where the General Assembly is putting something together on oversight on the governor, the gubernatorial, the executive orders. If they issue something that has to have her dial some of this stuff back, would we have to come back and readdress that? Or would it just be triggered because we're passing it? To me, when I look at this, this is kind of like a housekeeping thing. We're kind of expediting us not having to meet. And then I hear John a lot of claims, he's right. I mean, we're in a small community. We could actually get together very quickly to put three of us together to move this. But if that expedites that to where we don't have to do that, I'm okay with that. But if the General Assembly issues something that has the governor has to dial us back, then we're coming back.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, vote. All those in favor of the extension and or amendment of the town's declaration of state of emergency, or do we have a motion?
Yeah.
And we have a second, right? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. NP1, discussion and action regarding property and motor vehicle tax bill, due date and grace period. Manager, you showed this brings up to speed on the likelihood of extending this to the end of the month. That would, my recommendation would be to extend the grace period to the end of November. This is what we've done previously. Again, we had hoped that the recovery would be such that it would be necessary before it. Unfortunately, as you probably heard, we did have a positive COVID case in town hall that required the closure of the financial department for a short period of time. So it's fully feasible that people could have come in to pay their taxes and had to come back. So rather than try to people with penalty or interest, the recommendation is to extend the period.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Solicitor, discussion and action on the claim by Karen McKenna regarding the Bristol Warren Regional School District.
The town council president received a statutory notice of claim under section 45-15-5 of the general laws regarding a claim that appears to really be directed to the Bristol Warren Regional School District. Notwithstanding that, the town of Warren was named. I recommend that you deny the claim and have the matter referred to the interlocal trust. I can tell you, I did speak with the attorney for the Bristol Warren Regional School District. They have received a notice of claim also, so we don't need to refer it to them. But this one does need to be referred to the interlocal trust.
Motion to deny.
Second.
And refer to the trust.
We have a motion to deny and refer to the trust, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Finance Director, we have a revenues and expenditures report that is shared with us via email. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for the Finance Director?
How's it going? We're looking pretty good so far.
So for the public, the finance director says that despite the temporary closing of the finance office due to a positive COVID test, they are back to work and things are proceeding as normal. There's nothing outside of the global pandemic and collapse of the economy to be concerned about. Okay, that's good.
Thank you, folks.
We trust you. Tax assessor. We have an abatement for the 2020 tax roll and the 2019 tax roll. Any questions?
Make a motion to abate the 2020 tax roll in the $217.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'll make a motion we abate the 2019 tax roll in the $123.68.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have planning and community development. Colonel Rooney has a presentation for us on the development activities at the National Grid site. Yep. Things have been moving forward and he will explain to us what's going on.
Do you want me to share? He's on. Do you want me to share screen now?
Yes. So as you can see from the rendering, things have expanded significantly from what we had originally as a concept plan. There's been a great deal of preliminary work that has been done with respect to engineering and design. The preliminary determination application was filed last week with CRMC. We can't move forward with any other DEM drainage approvals until CRMC signs off on this. We're in the process of negotiating a cross easement agreement with the Firster property, which would allow for the elimination of the existing driveway into the site. And we would access the site through the driveway into the Firster site now. And we've added a third building. So what you see is the original brick building with an addition. The next building, the middle building, is Cone has a letter of intent with a brewery that's interested in going into that space. And then a third building, which would be potentially a restaurant and combination of some small offices. Through the preliminary work that's been done, it's been determined that in order to get the site outside of the floodplain, it's currently at about 7 feet. We need to raise the site to just over 14 feet, to call it 15. That site work in and of itself is going to be about $1 million in cost. It also probably will require that the brick building be elevated in order to get that on an even elevation for what the rest of the site and buildings would be. There's been, we've had conversations with 2 different development companies that generate construction budgets and schedules. We're fine tuning those budgets with one of those companies now. But at the end of the day, it looks like it's probably going to be somewhere between $7 and $8 million project. The additional site work and the public amenities are going to require that we pursue some additional either federal or state funding to help with that site work. Because we really, no way to capture that in terms of rents. Jill, did you want to add anything that going on call? Jill, is there anything you want to add that I haven't summarized?
No, I think that hits on all the key points. It's certainly escalated from the original plan, but I think in part that's because of the interest in some very, high quality tenants and some good folks who want to put their businesses in Warren and in the site in particular. So, as we went along, even before we've sort of advertised for potential tenants, the level of interest has been excellent. And while it is growing as a project, I think the public side is sort of staying steady, right? We have a goal to put an event lawn, public access along the waterfront. We want to make sure all that's there. I think the great advantage for the town is that they're getting a good economic development opportunity because of the interest in that site and because of sort of the visionary process of having a true gateway here, which makes it very attractive for businesses.
Mr. Chichino, where the parking?
So what you can't see is that third building closest to Tourister. There would be parking coming in from the Tourister driveway now. That third building also would have some parking underneath the building. Again, because that first floor has to be above the floor line.
And behind that building, that building stops where you see the roof stop. So there's actually a fair amount of parking, surface parking that goes behind that and extends down to 114 on that side.
So this is just an artist drawing on a scale.
Correct. Getting close to scale.
This is scale, Mr. Chichino. I'm sure you're in compliance with all of the required spaces, but
not subject to zoning.
Well,
What's your concern, Joe? The setbacks?
no, my concern is that we're developing I'm not, as long as there's an answer, I'm not concerned. There needs to be parking.
Right, I mean, there's parking.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the purpose of the cross easement for you too. There's a surplus of parking at Tourist.
Yeah. And they understand.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the negotiation.
And I can tell you, I am equally as concerned about parking as the town would be here. We can't have tenants with restaurants with a spot no one can park at, right? That doesn't work. They don't survive, then I don't survive. So yeah, no, parking is a big issue. That's why we're investing, as Bob pointed out, in structured parking underneath that restaurant building. We can't lose those dozen parking spaces that'll be under there, and so we're going to spend a little bit more money so that we have parking underneath, and you do all the things that allow for that. But no, that's a great point, Councilman. That's we can't live. This project doesn't survive without adequate parking. And you're right, it doesn't show here. We really wanted to just make sure that we showed the sort of concept and the design elements and the look and feel of the public spaces. The backside that you're missing is sort of the loading areas and the parking and a lot of parts that that of course aren't as quite attractive, but feed and are necessary to the site.
Right, and as you know, we are always in the catch-22. There's plenty of parking in an area that people don't want to walk a lot. But the north end, without the American Tourist Cooperation, there's not an overflow of parking. You immediately have problems. So no one wants to have a business there where people can't park.
Yeah, and I think you also make another good point there, which is that from the tourister point of view, I think the reason they're being accommodating on the easement agreement and the access and the parking is because they understand that if this doesn't succeed, then they're no better off than they are today having an empty blacktop lot with weeds growing on it. They see this as an amenity that they don't have to buy, right? I'm paying for it, or the town's paying for it together with my my company. And their apartment rents go up for this, right? They're the people that look out on the blacktop with the weeds now are going to look out at a beautiful development. And so they see the value, and I think that's really the key, and that's why they're being so accommodating is that they're going to their building value and the real estate value will go up.
And to your point, I say it often, we don't have a parking problem, we have a parking management problem. I mean, that's something that we need to address as we update the comprehensive plan, is that we can't have people getting in their car and driving to each location that they want to go in a certain area. They have large parking lots, it's vacant all day long.
Right, but in the north end though, specifically, it's not like you can drive up State Street or down Baker or Crescent Street and Mill That's it. So, and there aren't any drivers. People, I mean, you understand, so this isn't an establishment or an anti-business question. It's a reality, and we want it to be done right. We want to follow it. Mr. Giovanni, I know that you would always put the best thing forward, as well as Mr. Bowie in the town.
We're trying.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Hacker or Councilman Hacker?
The public amenities.
Yes.
So it's pretty nice, pretty accessible, but all of these improvements cost money.
Right.
And so we'll be trying to obtain grants.
Right, I mean, in February, when we talked about the rezoning of Medicom and the introduction of tax increment financing, if we continue to move forward with that, that would potentially generate revenue sources for public improvements, public infrastructure. So just to get off of this for a second, my goal is to start revisiting that effort with the community in December through webinars, so that process continues to go along. But yeah, we're certainly going to be looking at federal sources as well as state sources for some of this additional funding.
All right, so, so it just, so this isn't a fully developed landscape plan, it's just, obviously, it's pretty sparse, but.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got detailed budget numbers for the site work, for the construction of the Riverwalk, for the construction of the fish pier. So, right now, as we're going through the process, it's kind of backing into a number, what the lights have to be to support the cost of the development. What can we get in terms of federal assistance and state assistance for some of the public improvements? Because we're making it more resilient, I mean, there are opportunities for 75-25 match, if we go to the federal government. So we're kind of on parallel tracks right now as we go through the permit process, is also looking at additional funding sources.
Mr. Hacker brings up,
Yes.
Mr. Hacker brings up a point on funding, which we're not quite there yet, because we haven't had anything. But the town isn't in the position for the grant.
No.
So this proposal is coming from Mr. Ciccione as well as the potential cost.
Yeah, I mean, the town is clearly a partner in that we are really pursuing some of the federal and state money through the town.
Correct, and that's what makes, that's our reason for holding on to this property, or acquiring the property, was hopefully the town's ownership would make these grants more accessible because of the public aspect. And just for the public, aren't there aware that those issues are very important, and it is good that Mr. Hacker brings that up now, and I'm sure Mr. Ciccione understands this and all he does, because if we're unable to get any of those funds, they shouldn't hinge on the success or failure of the project, Mr. Ciccione. Do you hear that?
I think there's certain components of the project that could be scaled back if there wasn't public money available. But there's no question that none of it works without some sort of public support. The site is too complicated environmentally. It's too complicated in terms of the flood zone, the historic building, and on its own, it doesn't fly, even if we were just to fix up the little building that was there and call the rest a lawn. So, I think we're at that sort of key point now. We have tenants that are desperate to be in, to commit to leases, to be there and open up for business, next summer potentially. But we've got to build over the next 30 days, maybe, a financing structure that works for both parts of this public-private partnership. And so, I understand that I'm taking a lot of risk here, right? We're already tens of thousands of dollars into a planning process. We are getting ready to spend time on the site to stabilize the historic building, which is, day to day deteriorating and getting, more at risk of falling down in part. I'm willing to go in there and spend the money to make sure that it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And so, yeah, I get your point that there is some risk that the public side doesn't, come out the way we want it. But, in the end, this has to be a joint venture and we're going to have to find a way to make that work if we want a real gateway project.
Thank you. Do any other members of the council have any questions? Councilman Heckler, one more?
Thank you. When is the public get a shot?
In terms of,
Just doing it and feedback.
yeah, I mean, anybody that's on Zoom right now is
Yeah,
sending it.
it's on the agenda.
We'll put it out, and I'll put an article together for the Warren Times to that rendering. Certainly, if you want to continue this on the agenda and allow public comment at the council meeting, do this.
Well, and I think the public is, looking at this problem, how many years?
Decades.
And, they're very excited, many people are very excited, so I certainly want to make sure that we're kept in the loop as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we want to get into a public design process.
No.
But I think certainly, letting the public know that the extension of the river walks going to happen, that there'll be access for fishermen, that there are public bathrooms incorporated into the site, and that we are preserving a large amount of public space. Are all things that, the council had made clear at the very beginning that you wanted to have part of this. And I think the rendering indicates that, and all of the construction budgets have all incorporated all of those features as part of this.
Madam President, I just have something real quick.
Councilman Coletta, yes?
Thank you. Gio, I just made some notes on some of your comments. So you said you could do a little scale back, if we don't get all the grants that we have, that's fine. You're targeting opening next summer, if I heard that correctly. And I also heard of you having a financial plan within the next 30 days. Is that something you're going to share with us, or would you be sharing it with the planner?
Oh, well, I think that will involve the council directly. I mean, I think that's it's Bob and I talk, God, it seems like every day, and that may be the fact some weeks. But no, the council will have to be an integral part of this, and there's no question. This is.
I just want to, commend both all the Herculean work you guys are doing in this. Great job, Kate, and really excited to see this, getting off the ground. And thanks for, hanging on the line for us and presenting the information you had for us. Thank you, and Madam President, that's all I have.
And if I could also just respond to the first part of the question, we could be in there next summer. That there is, there is a construction schedule that we've got 2 builders who have confirmed that we can get this thing done in time for early next summer. So, but in order to do that, we've got to have the regulatory process, and by that I mean both CRMC, which we've already applied to, but also the town's process sort of move at a steady clip. And so I only mention that because, I know in my experience that it's good to be thoughtful. But from our perspective, if we're going to meet those deadlines, then it really sits in large part on the 5 of you to give us that support. And so I hope that will work out.
Great.
Madam Chair, if I could just want to make at this point, really stressful point. I want you to make sure you know that we're not committing any promises financially.
Understood.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Newman? Okay, we're ready. These plans are coming together quite nicely, and pleased to see the fishing circle added here and the access off of the bridge, and the concerns about parking are legitimate. I also know that I am hoping that there will be adequate and ample bike racks included, so that we are encouraging
development via the bike path and elsewhere in the area by bicycles. It is hard to tell on this rendering that the building that is the south edge is a separate building, so there is in fact, is there a walk space between sort of what looks like the main building and the building that almost looks attached. So there is a space there, and there is adequate disability access around the grid building and at all of the heights and levels.
That's why we got that.
Exactly. So this is looking good. So I would appreciate just at that we have an agenda item at the next meeting to get further into the financing and the financial aspects of it, so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves and we are eyes wide open with how this whole development moves forward. It would be a shame to get to a place too quickly only to find out that we are not in position to really make it happen.
Our eyes are wide open every day on this now.
Yeah, I can see people dilating and everything. So thank you very much for this presentation. Mr. Chaconi, it's nice to hear your voice there. Hopefully
Thank you.
we'll be back in person sometime. And with that said, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.